An apostle is a very important fellow. We don't have them today. You cannot reproduce the apostles at the level of the 12. Why? Because you've got to have seen Jesus personally. You've got to shake hands with him to be an apostle. And you've got to have the accrediting signs and wonders. You've got to be able to have your shadow pass over somebody who gets healed. I don't think you have that today. The other point would be that the apostles did not ordain their successors. Paul didn't say to Timothy, now when I die, you're going to be the apostle. No. The apostles finished with the canon of Scripture. God made his point with the apostles. They're very special. I don't think you can reproduce them. You remember that in the book of Acts, the one who was made substitute for the fellow who got it all wrong, Judas Iscariot, had to be replaced. So they said, how can we find somebody suitable for that job? It has to be somebody who's been with Jesus and witnessed the resurrection. Very important. You and I have not witnessed the resurrection. How we're called blessed or blessed in the book of John because we haven't seen Jesus literally. He's not going to walk in the door, I think, this morning. I hope I'm not proven wrong. He hasn't showed up, in fact, since the last time he showed up, which was in the list given in 1 Corinthians 15, where Paul is the last one to have literally seen Jesus. That's not. I can accept that. In the Old Testament, the canon of Scripture came to an end with Malachi. And there were 400 years of silence before the New Testament began. God can do that. He finished with the prophet Malachi, 400 BC. There were no prophets after that. There was no canon of Scripture, no books of the Bible after 400 BC. 400 years of silence before God spoke again in Matthew. Isn't that interesting? God can do that. He's in charge. So, we don't have to clamor after saying, well, I'm not going to believe until I see Jesus walk in the door and shake. No. You believe because of the testimony of these writers, the early community, and your own experience of the risen Christ. That would be the basis of our belief, and that's a blessed thing, to have believed without actually literally seeing.